What? What do you want? You gonna pester me all night while I'm trying to put dinner together? Hold on a minute. Let me get these peppers washed up a little bit, okay? Well, hello there, y'all. Once again, I didn't hear you come in, but I was sort of expecting you tonight. So, as you can see, we're getting ready to prepare dinner. You know, if y'all would like to help, we're going to be doing something a little bit special tonight. I'm putting together some steak and cheese hoagies with green bell peppers and, you know, some onions. And of course mushrooms. I don't know what happened to Trix. She's been pestering me the whole time, been trying to get ready for this, get dinner started. But like always, you're going to need a few things. And let me show you what you need to get started. And we'll go from there, okay? Okay, what you're going to need, of course, is some steak. And we've got it right here. And since y'all skipped visiting me last night, you didn't see me putting together the steak here. And what we've got in this bag right here is some thinly cut up strips of sirloin tip steak. And you can see right in there, there's all kinds of herbs and spices and a few bay leaves and all that. Well, late last night, I put together my secret beef marinade recipe that I've been working on now for about 18 years. And I got it right here on this piece of paper. You can see the notes I made over the years on it. And I actually started off with my father's recipe, and then I built onto it, and I made additions and all that. If y'all would like to know the recipe or see a video on that, I'd be more than glad to do it for you. But you gotta promise not to just give it to anyone. It'll just be for you and your family. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll take a look at the comments and consider doing a video on putting this all together. But then what you're going to need, of course, is some green bell peppers. We got a couple right here. Going to need some onions there. We got a couple there. I like a lot of onions as peppers. You're going to need some type of mushrooms. I prefer these baby bella mushrooms, but you know, the white button mushrooms do just fine. Used them for years. And you're going to need a nice cast iron skillet is my choice. But any heavy duty stainless steel skillet will do. If you ain't got one of them, just use whatever you got. It'll be just fine. So, let me show you here what this here steak looks like. And we'll get to putting this all together. We're going to stick our nose right down in this here Ziploc bag. And you can see right here. Let me get one of these strips for you so you can see it. You see there? It's just about 3/16 to 1/4 inch stripped up steak. That's all it is. Right there. See that? Nice and thin. You can see that marinade in there. Ooh, I wish you could smell it. With all those herbs and spices going on. It is really smelling fine. Here's a tip. When we're done making this tonight, don't be throwing your marinade away. At the end of the video, I'll show you what to do. But I think so Trix will leave us alone. We better give her something to keep her quiet. So y'all hold on. Okay, Trix, here you go. This what you want? This what you want? Huh? Trix, that what you want? Oh, okay, I'll put it down for you. Now, you be quiet. We got company tonight. Plus, we got dinner to put together, okay? Okay, so y'all, we've had this stripped up sirloin steak marinating since late last night. And then what you want to do there is take it out of the fridge, let it come up to room temperature before you get ready to cook it. But we got a few other things we got to do. We got to get these veggies all cut up and everything. And I'm going to start on these bell peppers right here. Now, you probably have seen people cut up peppers before, onions and that. So I'm going to save y'all the trouble. And I'm going to get this all done. And then we'll come back, okay? Well, y'all, through the magic of YouTube, and Trixie's help, of course, she threw on her apron and got her little chef's knife and cutting board. We got some sliced up onions here. Some sliced baby portabellas. And some sliced up green peppers. Now, what we got to do, we put a little bit of olive oil, oh, I think about a tablespoon or two, in this old cast iron skillet. Now we're going to start heating that bad boy up. Because we're going to start fixing up some meat. But, since we're going to be doing this in stages, we're going to take here, and we're going to set our oven on 170 degrees. I think that's as low as this oven will go. And as we cook up our meat, because we're going to have to do it in batches, we'll be placing it in a bowl, stick it in the oven, keep it nice, warm, and toasty. As we will all these vegetables that we've got all sliced up here. Then, we're going to get putting these sandwiches together and show you how we make them awesome. So y'all stay with me, okay? Okay, y'all, I think we got that pan nice and hot. And that's one of the things that most people do, they mess up on when they're cooking with cast iron. They don't preheat their pan. You want to make sure that pan's nice and toasty. See? You want to hear that sizzle. We're just going to dump on in some of that there cut up sirloin tip steak. Right there. Another thing they do, whether it's cast iron or any of it, is they overcrowd their pan. You don't want to do that. Now we've got this heat set at a medium. That'd be about 5-6 on my stove. And you just want to cover that bottom with that meat. Now depending on what meat you use to make these, I mean, I've used round steak, I've used skirt, flank steak, skirt steak. When I want to feel high class, I'll use some ribeye, T-bone. But, you know, retired now, I got to step it down a little bit. So I got that sirloin tip steak. It'll just be yummy. And depending on what steak or that you use, will depend on how chewy your steak is, how long to cook it. Now, let's say you use round steak like my daddy did. Round steak's pretty tough meat. And it's going to be a little bit chewy on y'all folks. Now if you use skirt or flank, strip, here again, unless you cook that on down and get nice and tender, it's going to be chewy on you. Of course you got a good set of jaws, it ain't going to matter. Oh, plus molar. But if you want nice tender steak in your sandwiches, and you don't want to spend no time cooking it, then by all means, throw you in some ribeye, T-bone, New York strip. Go high class. So we're just going to let that stay on in there, and you can see all that moisture from that marinade. We're going to let that cook on down. Now what you don't want to do, I got bay leaves in there, in that marinade. You don't want to be putting them on in there. No sir, you don't. We're just going to let that on cook on down. And then we're going to come back once some of that is cooked back down. Now it's going to make a mess on the stove. I say that because I'm a bachelor, I'm a man. Hate to be clean all the time, but I'll be clean tonight after I enjoy this nice steak hoagie. Just the way of it. Now for those of you who say, well, I'd just rather go on the Subway and get me a steak and cheese. Well, I feel for you. This don't take all that long. It takes longer for me to do a video about it. About 4 times longer what it takes to actually do it. But look at that. That is some beautiful looking steak cooking away in that pan. Here, let me bring you up a little closer, okay? Just look at that. Ooh, doggy. That's gonna be some fine eating. We're gonna let that cook down. Get nice and tender. Now there also is a secret to doing these. It's how you cook things. Now we're gonna cook the meat first. That makes total sense, right? Now you can see that meat starting to brown up some. Now, like I've told y'all, follow my channel. Flavors in the brown. Now, I see everybody cooking videos. Cooking beef, steak, especially ground beef. And they just sort of make it nice and gray. Ain't no flavor in the gray, folks. Not none. You got to get some brown on this stuff. It's that caramelization you get from the meat being nice and browned that puts all that flavor in there. And I'll put these up against anybody's out there. I don't care if you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia. I'm ready to throw down with you. Just bring it on. And you can see that brown forming. This ain't gonna be long. Now, you're a little worried about how it's coming. You get one of these. It's called a fork. And you grab out one of those little strips, see? See how nice and thin that is? And you're gonna taste it. You're gonna put it in your chopper and see how it's doing. Just like I am right now. Oh yeah. See how brown that's getting? Now that's caramelization, people. And that's ready to come on out. It's only been a few minutes. And we're going to take that on out of there. Like I said, we got that onion in there. There's all kinds of stuff in that marinade. Onion, garlic. There's rosemary in there, oregano. Now, I'm giving it away some. There's just all kinds of stuff in there. That meat's so flavorful, it'll knock your pants off if you don't got a belt on. There we are. And we're going to just set it right over there. And we're going to throw some more in there. Now, like I told you, another tip is making sure your meats come up to room temperature. That's going to help you get this cooking going and cut down on the time. But if you forget, it ain't no big thing. This is going to take a little longer. And like I said, don't be throwing your marinade away. I'll show you what to do with it at the end of the video. That marinade's just like gold. You see how nice and brown that meat got? Right there. Now that's what you're after. That brown, that's called caramelization. Oh, that sirloin tip steak is so darn tender. You could eat it without teeth. We're just gonna set it in that oven at 170 degrees, and we're just gonna let it sit. It's gonna be okay. And notice, ain't nothing sticking in my cast iron pan. That comes from a pan that's been used for years. Seasoned every time. I never put this pan out unless it's coated down in oil, fire dried. You can look at this. This is a little bit over a pound of meat. It don't make much meat, but the good thing about this recipe is, especially if you're a poor person like me, a little old retired man, it don't take a whole lot of meat to have a whole lot of flavor in a sandwich. And this ain't taking long at all. The meat, when you cut thin like that, it browns fairly quickly. Especially in a nice, hot, preheated cast iron pan. I wish you could be here to smell this, to hear it. Hope you can hear it on the camera. It's sitting there sizzling away. There's magic in that pan. And soon, there's going to be magic in my tummy. I mean, just look. There's caramelization going on. Now you can look that up on Google, DuckDuckGo, or Leroy. Caramelization is where the flavor's at. And we got it going on right here in this cast iron pan. And you might think, with that cooked beef in that oven, that it might be drying out. No. This marinade keeps everything nice and moist. And the final prep of this is what's going to make it all the better. And see there, it ain't even been but like maybe 5 minutes. And that meat's got a nice browning on it. Take your tester. If you doubt it, get you one of those little pieces. Try to keep it on your fork. Oh yeah. She's ready. Now this meat cooks down a lot. Now, what you want to do is have about a 1/4 pound to 1/3 pound of meat per sandwich. This was a little over a pound, but here again, it's a little old me, right? And then what we're going to do, once that meat's out there, and it's very important how you do this. Saw all that spices, everything left over from that marinade right there. That's going to add flavor to these onions. And that's the key here. How you cook your veggies depends on the flavor profile. And the onions will soak up the flavor of anything you cooking. You see how nice and brown those onions getting? You see that? They're getting all that meat flavor in there, all that marinade flavor, those leftover from cooking that meat. And you're just going to want to cook these down till they're just opaque. Then you're going to want to take them on out. Here again, we're on number 5, medium heat. And that's a ticket on these cast iron pans. Once you get them hot, you ain't got to worry about constantly adjusting your temperature. We'll hold the temperature. I'll tell you what, it smells so good here in the kitchen that even Trix fell asleep. What can you say about that? Now, just get out your old regular pepper shaker. Give those onions a little shake of pepper. And a little old shake of salt. Now you can use that fancy sea salt or that Himalayan pink if you want. Or you can just go old school like Mama and Daddy and Grandma and Grandpa did and great Grandma did. And use the regular old stuff. You just add a little flavor. Remember, salt is a flavor enhancer. But you use whatever you want. I'm not going to break out the good stuff for this. It's going to be fine all on its own. Now see what's going on right now. Is those onions, they're picking up all the flavors from the meat and that marinade. And those onions, they're just soaking it in. If you don't believe it, you do this one time. You get out your tester and just grab one of them while you're cooking. That's what we're going to do right here for you. You see that? Get nice and brown. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop them in the old chomper and see how they taste. They're awful hot right now. Oh yeah. Now, you can cook them to where these things are limp as what cooked noodles. Now, I don't much care for them that way. I like to have a little bit of crunch left in mine. So these are getting real close. Now here again, that's a preference. But I do like to keep a little crispness on my veggies. So when you bite into it, you hear that. But if you like yours all soft and limp, then just cook them that way. See, right now, I'm thinking that's good to go. So we got another bowl. we're gonna get these on out of here. Now remember this, they're nice and hot and toasty, and they're gonna continue cooking. And we're gonna put them in that 170-degree oven. Keep them nice and warm. And there we go. We got the onions finished right there. See them babies? They're looking fine. We're gonna go in that oven too. Now, I'm gonna turn that oven off because it's nice toasty. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna drop in these green bell peppers. Somehow we didn't cut that one up enough. That must have been one Trix had. She gets lazy like that sometimes. Says she's gonna help me. Then she cuts them too thick. Now here again, how long you cook these is depending on how much bite you want in your sandwich. You can cook them down till they're as limp as a wet noodle, or you can cook them to where they're nice and crispy. Here again, I go for the crispy. Now, you know we saved some of our marinade. And I'm going to show you why right now. We're going to put some more of that marinade right on in that skillet with those green peppers. Oh yeah. There we go. Adding the flavor back. See that? So everything that we're cooking for these steak sandwiches, it's going to have the flavor combined with that beef steak and that meat. Now I'm going to tell you what right now. You marinate some steak, save your marinade, and then use it for cooking up vegetables. Vegetables will be good enough all on their own, trust me that. And just look how green those bell peppers become. See how green that become? It's come alive. I almost wish I'd had 2 more green bell peppers, but I didn't. Now something about when you cutting up green bell peppers and cleaning them, kids, make sure you get all that white pithy stuff out of the center. Don't be lazy and leave that white stuff inside. Get it all out, not just the core and the seeds. Get the white little flimsy pithy stuff out. It just tastes nasty. And here again, we're going to give these just a little shake of pepper. Did you know pepper was a digestive aid? We're going to give them a little bit of salt. Just a touch. Don't want to try and escape. And here again, how long you cook your peppers depends on how much bite you want in them. And how you judge that with that little fork. Grab one of them. Oh, it's nice steaming hot. I'd say they're pretty much there. Here again, I'm going to get out the bowl. We're going to get them on out of there. There we got the peppers. Okay, you can see that pan starting to get a little dry. So we got to get that pan to give up some of that goodness for the next stage cooking. So this is just some cooking wine. It's red. You can use any kind of red wine you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour in about a 1/4 cup of that red wine. And that's going to deglaze that pan right away. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is dump in those mushrooms. Just like that. And we're going to turn that down to about a 4. The mushrooms are a little bit gentle. And what the wine does, if you're looking there real close, all of a sudden that pan's, see, nice and clean. And I ain't putting no pressure on this steel spatula. So now we got to cook down these mushrooms. Just to make sure they're as flavorful as everything else we put on this sandwich. We're going to add back some of that flavor. And how we're going to do that is some of our meat marinade. And anybody who's cooked mushrooms, they know they're going to absorb whatever they're cooked up with. And now what we're going to do, kick that heat back to 5. We're going to let these mushrooms cook. And we're going to let them cook down. Now you can see the whole pan sort of covered right now. Mushrooms are sort of like that steak. When they cook down, we ain't going to have near as many as we thought we had. While they cooking down, we can get a bowl to put them in. And now, as always, we're going to put us a little pepper in there. Just make sure we got enough pepper. I love pepper. We're going to hit it with a sprinkling of salt too. Now that is unionized salt. Albeit if you watch my video on salt, I could have just sprinkled some plastic in there. Who knows? If you haven't watched that video on microplastic contamination of our salts, whether it be mined, sea salt, rock salt, mountain salt, whatever, I sure wish you would. It was an eye-opener for me. But you see, that whole pan was covered up with mushrooms doubled up on top. And as mushrooms cook down, you can see right here we got some openings in the bottom of that pan. So bear that in mind when you're buying mushrooms. One package might not be enough. Just like that steak. Since all of y'all come in tonight, y'all might only be getting 3 or 4 pieces in every sandwich. Now I gotta stretch it for y'all. Now me, it'd be enough for at least 4 meals. The great thing about this recipe is you can take the meat, the green pepper, the onion, the mushrooms, portion them all up in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer, go ahead and freeze them, and then bring them out when you want to make a sandwich later. And here again, we're going to let this cook on down, and we'll come back to it when that water and marinade is pretty much evaporated. And then we got to start putting these sandwiches together. Okay, y'all, see? We got that all evaporated now, and you can see those mushrooms There wasn't much to them here, right? And that was a whole package. Not a lot left, is it? We're going to take and get this off the fire. We're going to turn that fire off. Put a few things up. And to save on dishes, we're just going to go ahead and scrape these on out of here. Put them on our paper plate here real quick. Always amazes me. It always amazes me how mushrooms cook down to hardly anything for what you pay for them. And there we are. Mushrooms, done deal. So we got this done to the point of having all the fillers done. But we got some other things to do. So now you got to have something to put them on, right? Now, just for y'all, since I have company over, I got some of these cobblestone white sub rolls. And I split one in half with my bread knife. My mama gave me this when I moved away from home. This thing's so sharp, it'll hurt you. It'll cut a frozen turkey. And I cut that sub roll in half. But in all honesty, that's not how I normally eat them. What I normally do, I go the poor boy way. Yep, I just use some hot dog buns. But since y'all company, I went with the high class sub roll. So what we gotta do next is we gotta take these sub rolls and we gotta whip them on into the toaster oven, toast them up a little bit. Give them some flavor. That's why now, they just white bread, white flour. So let's go over and get them in the toaster oven. So we got a pan out of the toaster oven. We're just gonna plop the bread on right there, that white sub roll. And we're gonna take it over here to our GE convection oven. And we're gonna slide on in there. Close it on up. And then we're gonna hit toast and start. It's just that simple. Yep, definitely got to clean that glass one day. It's getting to the point now, it's getting hard to see. We're gonna let them toast up. And then we're gonna come on back, build up our sandwich, and we're gonna start eating fine. So y'all hold on. Go ahead and set the table for me. Plenty of paper plates up here in the cabinet, right there. Okay? Now, since I am the chef, I get a plate. If you want a plate, I'll let you have a plate too. But I gotta get some cheese out of the fridge too. I bet you thought I forgot the cheese, didn't you? Nope, not for a minute. Okay, y'all, as you can see, we've toasted up the bun. Nice and toasty. So let's get out all the ingredients and start putting this here sandwich together. So, first thing we're going to do, we got some of that meat. We're going to take that meat and we're going to put it right on there. We're going to use our hands. We're just going to put that meat right on that bun. You just put as much as you want. I think you can see right there what we got going on. Now what I'm going to do, get me out a fork Put some of these onions on there. And you just put as many of those on there as you want to. It's your sandwich. We got the onions on there. Now, we're going to take our fingers again. We're going to be laying on some of those peppers. Just like that. And I'll bring you over and show it to you in a second. But now, we got to have some cheese, right? Now, just like Subway, you can put provolone, you can put cheddar, you can put mozzarella, you can do whatever you want. And we're going to put us some mozzarella. I just like the way it melts and gets all stringy. See, we're going to put that on both sides. We're going to put it right on there. We're going to put some on that bun too. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it back over to that convection oven. I'll bring you down and show it to you. Look at that right there. We're going to take this carefully. We're going to take it right on over here. I'm going to set it right there. Get this toaster oven open. And now we're going to set it on in there. I think you know what we're going to do. We're going to get that cheese melting. We're going to set that on broil. And we're going to hit start. And then we're going to drop that time down some. About 5 minutes. And we're going to let that cheese get all nice and melted and gooey. Then we'll get that thing out there. Show you what we got. Okay, y'all. We just got out of that there convection oven on broil. Cheese is all nice and melted on both the top of the sandwich with all the toppings, the top of that bun. Let's get this thing capped off and give it a taste test. Here we have it, guys. And oh, we got stuff falling out of it, but it's still gonna be good. Yep, that's my fine sandwich. Had a little beef fall out. That's sirloin strip or sirloin tip steak. Tender, juicy, so flavorful. It'll knock your pants off. So there you have it, folks. Hope you tried the recipe. But you know, I told you I was going to let you know what to do with your leftover marinade. And I got it right here. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Because you don't be throwing it away. What you do, seal the bag back up. Take the bag over to this freezer. Open it on up and just place it on in there. See, right there. And when it comes time to do some hamburgers, steaks on the grill, or meatloaf, this marinade is just jam up in a meatloaf. You won't ever have a better meatloaf. It'll be there. You get it out, thaw it out, it's ready to go. So y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the recipe. Now, I will leave the recipe in the description below the video for the steak sandwiches. And I'll leave the ingredients and recipe for my beef meat marinade that we used to marinate this meat. Like I said, if you'd all like to see me whip up the marinade, let me know in the comments and I'll do that. So y'all, till I see you on the next video, like always, y'all take care, stay safe out there, be nice to each other, take care of them little fur friends, and God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now. Later all. Trix, what have I told you? You just can't put your birthday hat on and keep thinking you're gonna get presents. I've told you 100 times, just because you put the hat on doesn't mean it's your birthday. So go back in the living room and put your hat up. Okay? Trix, you gonna put that hat up? Don't you be swatting at me. Nope, don't do it. Now go put your hat up like I told you. And when you hear people at the door, don't ignore me. When you hear people at the door, you're supposed to come in and let me know. Okay? Don't turn your back on me. What am I telling you?